Hello, welcome to KBOO's Galaxy Overview. Galaxy is our volunteer management website. That's where you will come and log your hours, sign up for our classes and opportunities, those sorts of things. I'm going to give you a rundown of how to sign up and how to use Galaxy. All right, so when we sign up, we're going to create our profile here. You can see your name, email, phone number, all the stuff that's required, and you'll fill that all out and create your account. I'm going to do that in secret. And after you fill that information out, you'll be sent to a page to select your skills. Skills are things that you currently possess that if we had a volunteer opportunity and said, we need help, you'd be able to say, I can help with that. I have that skill. So you just, select a few things that you think apply to you and continue to the next step. Now you'll select interests. Interests are areas that you would like to turn into skills or would like to learn more about. So maybe you can't respond to an opportunity asking for help with that, but you can sign up for an opportunity that will help teach you that. Some opportunities are more amenable to teaching volunteers than others, so we will specify like, hey, great learning opportunity, and put a call out for people who would like that. So you continue to the next step after selecting some of those, and you can become a fan of a department. This will update you anytime new classes or opportunities are posted in that department heading. It will send you emails for those, and since we do tend to do things in bulk, once a month you might get 4 or 5 emails at one time. If that's annoying to you, don't worry about it. You don't have to become a fan of departments. It just means you might miss out on an opportunity because you didn't get emailed with it right away. If you check back every day or two, you typically don't miss out on too much. Continue to the next step. Qualifications. If you are new to KBOO, all of these will be no. If you have been ported over from our previous software, then you might answer yes for some of these. None of these are essential to answer right away, but you do have to sign the volunteer agreement. With qualifications, if you are not qualified, if you select no for this, if you are not qualified for having taken the FCC course, then you will not be able to sign up for things like vetting audio. Some things have prerequisites that these qualifications are mandatory for. So you'll just want to make sure you take that class. And then you'll sign the volunteer agreement, and then you'll be on your way. All right, continue to the next step. And you've set up your account, so you just need to continue. And now you are at our homepage. It's a pretty clean website. You'll see your volunteer hours, your total hours, your impact value, what you've responded to, what classes you've responded to, all that sort of stuff. Almost everything you need is in a menu at the side or top of the page. There's even the drop down here for all of the other menu options, but you'll see those a little bit later anyway. We'll start over here on the tab on the left. The latest updates for volunteers, that's a blog. We don't use it very much right now, but we hope to implement it more because we have the all volunteer newsletter that goes out once a month. That's kind of where most of the information has been hosted, but we do plan on using this more in the future. In-station COVID guidelines are just that, the guidelines for being in the station. Masks, vaccine requirements, stuff like that. Departments, here's where you can change your department settings if you've decided that you just get too many emails from Galaxy, or maybe that you don't get enough emails from Galaxy. And I'll just click on one of these to show you what the page looks like. It has a little description about what we do, has all of the opportunities listed. You can see more opportunities and all the classes and trainings you can take. But now for the stuff that you will interact with the most. We have the classes and events. So it lists all of our current classes and trainings that are happening. Some are in station, some are online. This board op training for public affairs programs, that is in station. You can see the location is KBOO Community Radio. And so you would just click yes to sign up for it. and it'll send a message to our public affairs director, and they will either get back to you or you just show up at the date and time that it specifies. But if you respond yes, you you will be on that class. For things like the public affairs orientation, this is an online class. You can see click to register for class as a hyperlink there. There is no location, and there's going to be a distinction between language here. Click to register means it's a Zoom class, and you have to click the link to register for the class to get the link for the class. That's sort of like RSVPing, so you don't necessarily have to RSVP for this because your register will let us know people have signed up. However, the news classes all use Google Meet, so it says click to join meeting. In this case, it is helpful for you to RSVP for the class so that our news director knows people are planning on attending that meeting. They'll start the meeting anyway and just wait for people, but it's just helpful to have some sort of expectation. And so yeah, you just click to join the meeting and it will start at that date and time. So that's how all of the classes are handled. So click to join meeting just means you'll join through that link. Click to register means you have to register for the class first. So you can scan through all of these, see what fits in your schedule, see which ones you would like to take. And there's normally classes added at the start of every month. So you can see I'm recording this earlier in the month because February 8th this one hasn't happened yet. So there's plenty of classes available. On to opportunities. Opportunities are all of the volunteer opportunities that you will have at KBOO that are currently posted. There's a difference in type of opportunities. You can see some say is ongoing, some have shifts available. The difference is ongoing opportunities have no date or time attached to them. So you click on the opportunity and you can come over here to respond, and you can give some notes about what you would like to be doing with it, and then you submit your opportunity response. Then what will happen, in this case me, a staff person will reach out to you about arranging a time to explain the opportunity a little more, give you details, give you the stuff you need to be able to do the opportunity, and give you the time frame, but it's mostly done within your schedule. Volunteers with shifts are attached to a specific date and time. So you can see all of these say February 8th at 4:30 to 6 p.m. You can see there's no open slots for that, but down here there are slots for these. And so you would respond individually to one of these opportunities, and it'll take you to the page, and you have the option to select more shifts. Again, you can leave a note if you want, then you submit your opportunity response. This requires no follow-up from a staff person, though they might follow up anyway. It just will put it on your calendar, and you can show up at that date and that time for that opportunity. So you can see this one is at KBOO. So you would show up there, probably a little bit early, and you'll get started. You can see this requires voicing and audio editing, anchoring and announcing, interviewing techniques to sign up for this. So there are some prerequisites for some of these, so please read the descriptions carefully because there is good information in there. So you can just sort of scan through all of the opportunities that are currently available. As you can see, there's a lot, and see if anything piques your interest. Now once you do an opportunity, you have to log your hours. So where do we go for that? We come up to the top here to add hours. Add hours will take you directly to the track hours page, and you can see here is a menu that is the same as the menu under the drop down under your initials, aside from logout. So we'll go through those in a moment. But you can see it will be keeping track of your volunteer hours here after you add them. But the important part is tracking your hours down here. There's a little bit of confusion on this one aspect, so I'm going to highlight it. It's a very simple solution, but the wording is weird. So under hour type, are these hours in reference to an opportunity you responded to on this site? Well, almost every opportunity, any volunteer thing you do through KBOO will go through this site. But this is referring specifically to those opportunities with a shift involved, so a specific date and a specific time. If I had signed up for the news anchor shift, it would be under this drop down. And you would see that it had the date and time on it, and when I clicked on that, it would fill in the hours over here automatically. But if I had signed up for vetting audio, it would not appear under here. And what you have to do is you have to click no to get rid of that option altogether. Then you can fill out your date, your hours worked, but manually. A brief description that's needed, whether it's toggled to yes or to no. Then these individual details and hours questions are totally optional. You can do them if you want, but you don't need to. And you just come down and you submit your hour entry, and you will have hours logged. So let's just say I worked for 3 hours on the 1st, and I was vetting audio. Just come in and submit your hours, and they are submitted. And you can see they've popped up here. And when we go back to the home page, you will also see they pop up there. But let's go back to add hours just real quick. That is how you add volunteer hours. It's a pretty simple process. And again, as long as you get the toggling yes to no thing down, you will be made in the shade. Now the other areas, you can view your profile. This is where you can manage your interests and skills. You can edit your profile, and this will have you can fill out a schedule if you want. It's got a few communication settings. It has some other questions that aren't when you log in, pronouns, ethnicity. If you have a show, you can select the music that you play, the current affairs show, what topics you have. All that's optional. We have a volunteer schedule. This will have any volunteer opportunity that had a specific date and a specific time attached to it. It will appear on your calendar. Since I just made this account, I don't have anything on my calendar. Files, you can upload files to here. I don't know exactly why you would want to do that, but you can. Also, there is a possibility that maybe someday we will have people upload their vaccine card. That's not something we're concerned about right now. Opportunity responses. So again, this just monitors what opportunities you've responded to. It's basically another calendar, but just not in calendar form. My teams, I don't think you really would ever have to worry about your teams. I've not had to worry about that yet. Your qualifications, this is where you can come to change the status of your response on some things. So I keep all of them pending so that you can come back here after you take the SEC training. Your response will change from no to yes. And if I keep it pending, that means you can do that on your own. If I change it to qualified, then you have to ask me to change it. So you just come, find your FCT training, or if you completed board op training, whatever, you can come over to options, click the pencil, toggle from no to yes, submit qualification, and then it will send me an email and I will approve it and change this from pending to qualified. Then you'll be able to sign up for those classes that require FCC training. And you can also answer these questions if you hadn't already done that. And then your inbox is where a lot of emails will come to you. Information is sent to you about new opportunities and responses and stuff. So you can click on there, see what the messages are. Unfortunately, they all have the vaguest of subject lines, so it's not the easiest to navigate through. You can also click your calendar, which has a list of all of the opportunities when things are happening. It's a little overwhelming to look at, but you can click on a date and see what's available that day. All of the ongoing opportunities always appear there, so that that muddies things up a little bit. And that is Galaxy. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, the volunteer coordinator, Nate. Thank you for taking time to watch this video.